All right. And this one I'm going to put encrypt. And now they have saved it into a function. They're not going to run automatically. So I'm just going to call the function here decrypt. And what's going to do is that it's going to get the content of the encrypted data. Also, is going to then use the unprotected-CMS function to decrypt it. And because we had saved that into a JSON format, I just want to convert back to a CSV format. All right. So let's just run this for now. And as you can see, the data is decrypted successfully. That works fine. All right. If I go to my Cert directory and current user mine, you're going to see that I have the certificate installed. Okay. Also over here, if I refresh it, the certificate is installed. So that's why we can decrypt the data. If I remove the certificate from this page, as you can see now it's empty. And if I try to run the same function again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, and I'm just open again, because sometimes on PowerShell the variables remain active, and that's on an ISC format. Okay, that's one of the disadvantages of using ISC. There is no function to clear out global variables. But now it does the same function. Okay, so what's doing the same thing? It's going to get the content of the data. It's going to unprotect it and do the same thing, except now I don't have the certificate. So let's try to run that. And as you can see, now it's giving me an error. It says the envelope data message does not contain the specific recipient. Okay, so it pretty much means that we do not have the certificate installed. One error catch that I like to use is that type error and 0. Okay, and then it's going to give me like what the error occurred. So what thing you could do is that you can put that into like a try over here. Well, let's just try this whole thing. Okay, let's just try to get the content for the data. Actually, let's try to decrypt the data. Okay, and if that doesn't work, just get out. So I'm going to do is that catch, write a host, going to put error, missing certificate. So this is just something I like to do when I'm writing my own codes, just like have a catch block. Okay. And as you can see, I still get this missing certificate, but I still get the message at the bottom. So I'm going to do it like I'm going to put this at the very bottom here. And let's say we're trying the whole block. Okay. So there we go. As you can see now, instead of getting we can get like a custom error message. So how do we fix that? Well, as you can see, we can just fix that by installing the certificate again. So let's go back to the data, have the private key, and this time we're going to install using the most secure method, which will require for you to type in your password every time the certificate is touched. So here I am on a wizard to install the certificate. I'm going to press next. The password that you created when you were exporting the certificate, okay? And you also want to click this time, enable strong private key protection, okay? So every time the key will be used, it pretty much will ask you for a password. So click next, where you want to install it, personal, and finish. And now you're going to get this pop-up wizard here showing up, all right, because we selected to use the password, the secured option. So we're going to set the security level, and a median is pretty much going to act as a UA user access control. So it's going to get a pop-up message. All right. And if you click on high, you're going to be enter a new password here. That will be asked every time you run the function to be typed in. So I'll show you how that happens. And a password 4, you can here put anything you want. I was going to put Cyber Samurai Decrypt. I'm going to type in the password. Click OK. I'm going to get this confirmation. Import was successful. All right. So I'm just clear the screen. If I try to run now again, now that we have installed, so if I just refresh, so the same thing happens, the same installation. But if I run the function now, you're gonna get this pop-up coming up. Okay. So that's the password they have just created now, really important. So you have to type the password. And as you can see now, we didn't get any errors. And we also were able to read the data successfully, okay? So it's not gonna ask for the password again, as long as you keep this window open, all right. So it's kind of convenient, it's not that annoying. So it's not like you're gonna be asked the password every time you run the function. It's just if you close this, and if you try to open again, and if I run now, you're gonna see you're gonna get another pop-up window. All right, for the password. So that's a very good way to keep your data secure. And I would recommend encrypting all your data and any passwords or functions that you think it could be useful for you. And that way, all I have to do is keep track of the private key, and then you can keep your data secure.